She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who'll do whatever His Highness desires.
Salute and rest in power to the late, great David Carroll. Salute and rest in power to the late, great Kevin Samuels. Salute and rest in power to the late, great, gone but not forgotten Patrice O'Neal. A moment of silence. What we have here is not only a failure to communicate, but we also have a glitch in the matrix. Men, especially black men, all across the country are opting out of their right to vote. But why is that? For the last 60 years in this country, there has been a rift, a glitch in the matrix, if you will, where black men have been politically, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially castrated by one particular party. Now, it's not that the other side is any better. They're both two wings of the same bird. The great American eagle, which is a symbol for the corporation called the United States of America. And it isn't just about being castrated in all those ways. But what it is about is you're going to cut my balls off and deny me the very human right to scream or show emotion about it. Too many times, far in between, whenever a black man expresses everyday opinion, let alone the opinion having some weight or continuity to it, it seems as though our voices are shunned. And it's as if society doesn't know why. Could it be that we're misinformed? Could it be that, well, which we've always been shiftless and lazy, so that wouldn't deter that argument at all now, would it? But the thing is, which I don't get, when you're talking about misinformation or disinformation as it applies to black men, is how you forget about the men who have preceded us, the scholars, the professors like W.E. Du Bois, the historians like John Henrik Clarke, the inventors like George Washington Carver. Not only did he come up with one way to use a peanut, that man came up with 300 ways to use a peanut besides eating it. But you continue to act as if black men haven't always been these thinking men, creative men, men with the kinetic energy to build communities, which end up getting burned down, but I digress. But as it relates to, well, what was the community, because there is no black community anymore. But when there was one, and there were men trying to make an attempt to keep it together, our voices were shunned. Now here it is, it's 2022, and we're talking about the same issues that we were talking about 60 years ago. Did you know that you can stake a cow out, let's say, 50 yards, and that cow will graze within those 50 yards? And if you don't know what staking a cow is, it's an old country farmer term for not allowing the cow to roam. So you just stake them out. You put a stake in the ground, tie a rope, or tie them to a pole, a post in the ground, and just stake the cow. You don't have to worry about the cow going anywhere. So if you stake the cow out 50 yards, that cow will, imagine a circle and a cow grazing in this circle. That cow will graze those 50 yards, and that's it. Well, because that's all that cow is allotted to, is that 50 yards, right? Now, over time, you could lengthen the rope that you stake the cow on the first time. Over time, you can just lessen the rope. Every year, you just let it out another foot. So in 50 years' time, you'll have an extra 50 feet of rope, but that cow won't graze anywhere else. He'll stay within those 50 yards because he doesn't know that you gave him extra rope to graze So when he runs out of grass, in those first 50 yards that you staked him out at, he'll look at the grass around him, but he won't eat it. So here we are in 2022 with an aerial view of not only the cow, the farm, but we see who the farmer is. And you know what? We don't like the steaks. So let's take a look at this from a common sense angle. And this is a tweet from Brittany Cooper. Salute Brittany Cooper for making it on Dog Tag's radar. And shout out to Professor Crunk. And the tweet reads, "This isn't about policy." What would be this? This isn't about policy. Well, what isn't about policy? Well, the election, the voting process wouldn't be about policy. And if voting isn't about policy, then Miss Brittany Cooper, what is voting about? Because I see or have seen over the last several decades of other minorities piggybacking off of the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors through affirmative action, which doesn't apply to black men. Affirmative action should have I'm probably sure there is a disclaimer on there that says black men need not apply. So, Miss Brittany Cooper, if this election isn't about policy, then what is it about? Oh, I know what it's about. It's about disinformation, patriarchy, and distrust of ambitious black women. So what is misinformation? Misinformation is false or inaccurate information. Examples include rumors, insults, and pranks. What is disinformation? Well, disinformation is deliberate and includes malicious content such as hoaxes, spear phishing, and propaganda. It spreads fear and suspicion among the population. Ooh, hoaxy. So if black men are being fed or being misled by the information that is at hand before them, then what information would that be? Oh, I know what kind of information would be out there. It'd be the demon of misinformation. That's what it is. But wait a minute. He got a cousin, and he's the demon of disinformation. So it appears to me, all my soldiers, black men, all around the world, wherever you may be, we got two demons out here in the manosphere. If y'all see them, point them out. We got a demon of misinformation, and we got another demon, his cousin, of disinformation.
You know, I didn't come here to preach to you today.
Apparently, these are the best women Queens has to offer. Pick one and let's go home.
You can call his name.
Be patient, my friend.
Lord, Lord. Do you love him?